Have you ever wished you could just not care? Not care about the petty criticisms that sting, the overwhelming expectations that crush you, or the constant anxieties that seem to plague modern life? We often associate not caring with apathy or recklessness, but what if I told you there's a profound, liberating art to it, an art perfected by the ancient Stoics, and one that can unlock incredible freedom and peace in your life? Welcome to True Stoic Mindset, your guide to applying timeless wisdom for modern challenges. In a world that constantly demands our attention, our reactions, and our emotional investment in virtually everything, the very idea of not caring can feel almost rebellious. But this isn't about becoming cold, cynical, or indifferent to the suffering of others. Far from it. Today, we're going to dive deep into the Stoic principles that teach us how to master the art of healthy detachment, focusing our energy where it truly matters and liberating ourselves from what doesn't. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, easily offended, or constantly anxious about things beyond your control, then this video is for you. Stick around, because by the end, you'll understand why cultivating this specific kind of not caring isn't a weakness, but a superpower, and why you absolutely should embrace it to live a life of profound peace and resilience. The misconception of not caring, apathy versus detachment. Before we dive into how to master this art, let's clarify what we don't mean by not caring. The common understanding of not caring often leans towards apathy, a state of indifference, a lack of emotion, or even a blatant disregard for consequences or the well-being of others. This is absolutely not what Stoicism advocates. Imagine someone who simply shrugs off everything. They don't care about their responsibilities, their relationships, or even their own health. They skip work, neglect their friends, or make reckless decisions without a second thought. This isn't strength, it's negligence. Such a person is often driven by escapism, fear, or a sense of helplessness, leading to stagnation and often deeper unhappiness. This kind of not caring is harmful, both to the individual and to those around them. It leads to a life devoid of meaning and purpose, where one passively lets life happen to them, rather than actively shaping it. What the Stoics championed, and what we will explore today, is healthy detachment. It's a nuanced and profoundly powerful distinction. Healthy detachment means understanding what is truly within your control and what isn't. It's about consciously choosing not to invest your emotional energy in things that are external to your will, your character, and your actions. It's about being present, engaged, and empathetic, while simultaneously recognizing that outcomes, other people's opinions, and external events are not yours to control, and therefore, not yours to be disturbed by. This isn't about suppressing emotions, making yourself cold or unfeeling. It's about experiencing the full spectrum of human emotions without allowing them to dictate your actions or disturb your inner peace. Think of it this way: are you a leaf, tossed by every gust of wind, or are you a sturdy tree, bending gracefully with the storm but remaining deeply rooted and unshakable? Healthy detachment helps you become that tree. Core Stoic Principles for Mastering Detachment. Alright, let's dive into the powerful Stoic principles that will help you master this art of healthy detachment. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical tools you can start using right now. 1. Control your response, not the event. This is the bedrock of all inner peace, and it's perhaps the most fundamental Stoic principle. Life constantly throws unexpected curveballs our way, whether it's your Wi-Fi suddenly cutting out in the middle of an important meeting, an unfair criticism from a colleague, or your perfectly planned day turning into a chaotic mess. You can't control what happens, but you absolutely can control how you react and how you interpret those events. This is the essence of Epictetus's famous dichotomy of control. He emphasized that only our opinions, judgments, desires, and aversions, in short, our own thoughts and actions, are truly within our power. Everything else, like our health, wealth, reputation, other people's actions, or even the weather, is outside our control. So, why is this so crucial? Because when you spend your precious mental and emotional energy worrying, agonizing, or trying to manipulate things that are fundamentally outside your control, you're setting yourself up for inevitable frustration and suffering. Our distress often comes not from the events themselves, but from our desire for things to be different, to bend to our will. As the great Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. He meant that the pain we anticipate or create in our minds through worrying about uncontrollable externals is far greater than the actual pain of the event itself. So, how do you apply this? The next time you feel that familiar knot of frustration or anxiety tightening in your stomach, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's an external event, another person's behavior, or an outcome you can't guarantee, acknowledge that it's outside your sphere of influence. Then, consciously shift your focus. Direct your energy only to what is in your power, your attitude, your effort, and your chosen response. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, you can't magically make the cars move faster, but you can choose to listen to an audiobook, practice calm breathing, or lian tap lon kian nan. Do your best for what you can control, and then, wholeheartedly release your attachment to the result. This single principle, consistently applied, will lift an enormous burden from your shoulders. 2. Live fully in the present moment. In our fast-paced, modern lives, our minds are constantly racing. We're either replaying past events, dwelling on regrets, or anxiously planning and worrying about what's to come. But here's a profound truth from the Stoics. The present moment is all we truly have. It's the only place where life actually happens. The past is gone, and the future is merely a concept, not a reality we can touch right now. So, why is this so crucial? Because when your mind is constantly wandering, you're missing out on life as it unfolds right before your eyes. You're sacrificing the peace and joy of this very moment for thoughts that often bring anxiety or regret. Think about it. How many times have you been eating a delicious meal, but your mind was elsewhere, planning your next task? Or listening to a friend, but already formulating your reply instead of truly hearing them? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wisely advised, don't let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason as today. He understood that by cultivating your present, you're best preparing for whatever comes next. How do you apply this? It's all about practicing mindfulness in your daily activities. This isn't just about formal meditation, it's about bringing your full attention to simple, everyday acts. When you eat, really taste each bite. Notice the flavors, the textures. When you're talking to someone, truly listen. Put away your phone, make eye contact, and engage fully with their words, not just preparing your next comment. As you walk, feel your feet on the ground, hear the sounds around you, breathe in the air. Dedicate a few minutes each day to simply being present, breathing, and experiencing the life happening right now. By anchoring yourself in the present, you'll find that a vast amount of unnecessary worry simply dissolves, leaving you with more clarity and a deeper appreciation for life itself. 3. Don't seek external approval. In an age dominated by social media and constant connectivity, we're often unconsciously driven to seek validation from external sources. We chase likes, comments, follower counts, or simply the approving glances and words of others. We might dress a certain way, post specific photos, or even change our opinions just to fit in or gain acceptance. Without realizing it, we start to let our self-worth hinge on these outside opinions, making us incredibly vulnerable to the whims and judgments of others. So, why is this so crucial? Because placing your happiness and self-esteem in the hands of others is a dangerous trap. It means your inner peace is constantly subject to factors you can't control. If someone approves of you, you feel good. If they criticize you, you feel bad. This creates an emotional roller coaster, leaving you constantly trying to please everyone, which is an impossible task. When you live to gain external approval, you lose touch with your authentic self and become a slave to ever-changing societal standards. Epictetus wisely noted. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. Often those views are shaped by our imagined need for external acceptance. How do you apply this? Stoicism encourages us to find our self-worth from within, based on our personal values, our actions, and our character, like honesty, courage, and kindness, rather than through anyone else's approval. Ask yourself, if no one else knew about this, would I still do it? Or, am I doing this because it aligns with my values, or because I want others to think well of me? Focus on living truthfully to your own principles. When you cultivate genuine self-confidence rooted in your inner integrity, the opinions of others simply lose their power to disturb you. This self-sovereignty brings an incredibly powerful and lasting sense of freedom. 4. Turn adversity into growth opportunities. When we face challenges in life, whether it's a difficult boss, a pile of unexpected bills, a failed project, or even a sudden illness, our natural reaction is often to complain, feel helpless, or simply wish the problem would disappear. We see these moments as obstacles, as unfair burdens, and as something to be endured with gritted teeth. However, the Stoics teach us to view these very situations in a completely different light, as golden opportunities for growth, for strengthening our character and resilience. They believe that life isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about becoming stronger because of them. So, why is this perspective so crucial? If you constantly avoid or lament adversity, you'll miss out on the most valuable lessons life has to offer. It's precisely in times of difficulty that your true strength and wisdom are tested and sharpened. Think of it like a muscle. Your physical muscles need resistance and effort to grow stronger. Similarly, your mind needs to confront challenges to develop resilience and fortitude. As the great Stoic philosopher Seneca declared, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. He understood that just as physical exercise builds physical strength, mental challenges build mental fortitude. How do you apply this? The next time a difficulty arises, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" or "Why is this so unfair?" reframe your question. Ask instead, "What is this situation trying to teach me? What virtue can I practice here? Patience, courage, perseverance, or self-control? How can this moment make me stronger or wiser?" For instance, if you unexpectedly lose your job, instead of falling into despair, you could view it as an opportunity to learn a new skill, pivot your career direction, or develop your financial management abilities. By actively seeking the lesson or the opportunity within the challenge, you transform a potential source of suffering into a powerful catalyst for your personal evolution. You begin to care less about things always going your way, because you trust that whatever happens, you can find a way to use it for your betterment. 5. Embrace change as a natural flow. Life is an unending current, much like the changing seasons or a river that never stops flowing. Everything around us is in constant flux: our jobs, our relationships, our health, and even our own selves. Nothing is static. We often cling to what is familiar, to how things should be, and when change inevitably arrives, we resist it with all our might. Whether it's a new job, a breakup, an unexpected shift in plans, or simply the weather not cooperating, fighting against change only exhausts us, drains our energy, and creates unnecessary suffering. So, why is this perspective so crucial? Because when you resist change, you're essentially fighting against the very nature of the universe. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you try to grasp it, the more it slips away. This resistance only amplifies your stress and frustration. Embracing and flowing with change is where you discover true flexibility, adaptability, and freedom. Epictetus put it simply, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your attitude towards change is what ultimately determines your inner peace. If you can accept that change is inevitable, you'll be less reactive and more proactive in adapting to new circumstances. How do you apply this? Practice acknowledging and accepting small changes in your daily life, e.g., plans get postponed, weather changes, someone has a different opinion. Practice saying yes to what is rather than, no, this shouldn't be happening. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you calmly accept the starting point before deciding on your next action. By doing so, you'll find yourself moving with the current of life, rather than constantly struggling against it, leading to a profound sense of ease and resilience. 6. Practice daily self-reflection. Self-reflection is a powerful and practical tool for continuous self-improvement and maintaining inner peace. Just like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, meticulously recorded his thoughts and meditations each night, you too can set aside time for introspection, looking inward. This isn't about self-criticism or dwelling on your flaws. It's an objective process of self-assessment and learning. Think of it as reviewing your day's performance, not to judge, but to understand and adjust. So, why is this so crucial? Without consistent self-reflection, we easily fall into old patterns, repeat mistakes, get swept away by negative reactions, or miss valuable opportunities for growth. Our days can blend into one another, and we lose awareness of how our thoughts and actions are shaping our experience. Self-reflection helps you identify recurring patterns in your thinking and behavior, understand the root causes of your emotions, calibrate your chosen path, and refresh your perspective. It's like a regular system update for your life, where understanding yourself better paves the way for true contentment and serenity. Marcus Aurelius astutely noted that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And to improve the quality of your thoughts, you first need to examine them. How do you apply this? Make self-reflection a daily habit. You might dedicate 5 to 10 minutes each morning to set an intention for the day, e.g., what virtue do I want to practice today? What might challenge me? More importantly, at the end of your day, take time to review it. Ask yourself a few simple yet profound questions. How did I respond to difficulties today? Did I act in alignment with my values? What disturbed me, and why? What could I have done better tomorrow? You can write these reflections in a journal, or simply contemplate them quietly in your mind. This consistent practice of honest self-inquiry will empower you to learn from every experience, refine your responses, and steadily build a more resilient and peaceful mind. 7. Cultivate inner wealth. In a society that often equates happiness with bank account balances, high social status, or the latest material possessions, Stoicism offers a radically different, yet profoundly satisfying, definition of wealth. True happiness doesn't lie in accumulating more stuff, but in the contentment of your soul, the richness of your experiences, and the treasure trove of memories you create. It's about being deeply satisfied with what you have, rather than constantly craving what you lack. So, why is this perspective so crucial? The endless pursuit of external wealth often leads to a vicious cycle. You acquire what you desire, but the joy is fleeting, and you quickly want more. This creates a perpetual state of lack, where enough never truly exists. As the great Stoic philosopher Seneca astutely observed, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Chasing external validation and material possessions makes you a slave to things outside your control. True inner wealth, however, is self-contained and unassailable. How do you apply this? Shift your focus from external acquisition to internal cultivation. Prioritize experiences over possessions. Invest your time and energy in developing yourself. Learn new skills, read enriching books, or explore new ideas. Spend quality time with loved ones, building meaningful connections and creating invaluable memories. Practice gratitude for what you already possess, your health, your relationships, the simple comforts of your life. Find joy in simplicity, in acts of service, and in your own personal growth. By internalizing that your worth and happiness are derived from within, you naturally begin to, not care, about the endless chase for external things that promise happiness but rarely deliver it sustainably. This liberation allows you to live a life truly abundant in meaning and contentment. 8. Understand the impermanence of all things. This principle expands on the idea of embracing change by focusing on the temporary nature of absolutely everything. Everything in life, from your material possessions, your health, your reputation, your relationships, to even your own physical body, is constantly changing and will eventually come to an end. Nothing is permanent, everything is in flux, a continuous cycle of coming into being and passing away. So, why is this perspective so crucial? Our deepest suffering often stems from clinging to things that are, by their very nature, impermanent. When we refuse to accept that everything we cherish, a beloved person, a comfortable job, vibrant health, can change or be lost, we set ourselves up for immense shock and despair when the inevitable happens. If you don't grasp impermanence, every loss feels like an unbearable tragedy, and every change feels like a personal attack. By recognizing that all things are on loan to us, we learn to appreciate them more deeply in the present moment, while simultaneously softening the emotional blow of their potential departure. Marcus Aurelius beautifully captured this when he said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." He saw endings not as absolute losses, but as transformations, a natural part of the cosmic dance. How do you apply this? Practice a healthy form of negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. Don't worry, this isn't about being pessimistic, it's about preparation. Regularly, perhaps for a few minutes each morning or evening, gently contemplate the possibility of losing the things you cherish. For example, reflect on the idea that your loved ones won't be with you forever, or that your job could end, or your health might decline. The goal isn't to create sadness, but to reduce the initial emotional shock if these events do occur, and more importantly, to deepen your appreciation for what you have right now. When you acknowledge impermanence, you cherish the present more intensely, and you learn to care less, in a way that causes distress, while still loving and valuing deeply. This practice liberates you from the anxiety of clinging, allowing you to move with the flow of life with greater peace. 9. Let virtue guide your life. For the Stoics, virtue wasn't just a nice idea, it was the sole good and the ultimate purpose of life. They identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, the ability to make sound judgments; justice, treating others fairly and with kindness; courage, facing fear and acting rightly despite it; and temperance, self-control and moderation. Everything else, things like money, reputation, health, or even pleasure and pain, were considered indifference. This doesn't mean these things are worthless. They can be preferred indifference, like health or wealth, which are generally good to have, or dispreferred indifference, like illness or poverty, which are generally undesirable. However, their presence or absence doesn't determine your goodness or your happiness. So, why is this perspective so crucial? When you place your value or happiness on external things like wealth, fame, or even perfect health, you're placing your inner peace in the hands of unstable factors that can be taken away at any moment. Your job might disappear, your reputation could be tarnished by a rumor, or your health could decline. But virtue, your character, is entirely within your control. It's the one thing no one can ever take from you. When you align your life with virtue, you focus on becoming a good person, on acting rightly, regardless of external circumstances. This builds an unshakable foundation of internal value. How do you apply this? Make virtue your compass in daily life. Whenever you face a decision or a challenging situation, pause and ask yourself, what action would be the most wise here? Am I acting with justice towards others? Do I have the courage to do what's right, even if it's difficult? Can I practice temperance in my reactions, desires, or impulses? For example, if you're tempted to gossip about a colleague, pause and consider if that aligns with justice or wisdom. If you're afraid to speak up about an injustice, ask yourself where courage fits in. By consciously striving to embody these virtues, you shift your focus from external gains to internal excellence. You naturally begin to not care about fleeting external rewards because your true worth is self-contained and unassailable. 10. Exercise your willpower. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy to be studied, it's a way of life to be practiced. And at the heart of that practice lies the consistent exercise of your willpower. Think of willpower like a muscle. Just like any other muscle, it needs regular training and resistance to grow stronger. Making difficult choices, breaking bad habits, and persevering towards your goals even when faced with obstacles, these are all ways you build this crucial inner strength. So, why is this so crucial? In a world filled with endless temptations, instant gratification, and the path of least resistance, strong willpower is your shield. Without it, you're easily swayed by fleeting desires, distracted by external noise, or succumb to procrastination and laziness. This leaves you vulnerable to impulses that pull you away from your long-term goals and inner peace. Exercising willpower is how you actively practice the Stoic virtues of temperance, self-control, moderation, and courage, acting rightly despite fear or difficulty. It's how you become the master of your own impulses, rather than their slave. How do you apply this? Start with small, daily willpower challenges. These aren't about extreme self-denial, but about consciously choosing the harder, more virtuous path in minor situations. For instance, make a point to complete one small task you've been procrastinating. Consciously choose a healthy snack instead of the unhealthy one you crave. Push yourself for an extra 5 minutes during a workout when you feel like quitting. Turn off phone notifications for a set period to avoid distractions. Take a cold shower to intentionally embrace discomfort. Each time you consciously make a choice that goes against your immediate impulse for ease or pleasure, you're strengthening your willpower. You're proving to yourself that you are in control of your actions and desires. Over time, these small victories build incredible inner fortitude, making you less susceptible to external pressures and more aligned with your own highest good. 11. Act by reason, not emotion. While emotions are a natural and essential part of the human experience, the Stoics strongly encourage us to let reason guide our actions, especially when making important decisions. This doesn't mean suppressing or denying your feelings. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be a robot. Instead, it's about learning to observe your emotions, understand their origins, and then use your rational faculty to make the wisest choices, preventing fleeting feelings from blindly dictating your judgments and actions. So, why is this so crucial? Emotions, while providing valuable information, can be terrible masters. When you act impulsively based on anger, fear, intense desire, or even overwhelming joy, you often make decisions you later regret. These emotional reactions can cloud your judgment, distort your perception of reality, and lead you astray from your long-term goals and values. Reason, on the other hand, allows you to view situations objectively, weigh options calmly, and act in alignment with your deepest principles and what truly serves your highest good. It provides stability in the face of emotional storms. How do you apply this? When a strong emotion, like anger, anxiety, or intense craving surges, practice the Stoic pause. Create a conscious gap before you react. Identify, simply acknowledge. I'm feeling X emotion right now. Don't judge it, just name it. Observe, ask yourself, where is this emotion coming from? What judgment am I making that's fueling it? What is it trying to tell me? Evaluate, step back and use your reason. Is this judgment accurate? Is this emotion proportionate to the situation? Will acting on this emotion lead to a virtuous outcome? Respond consciously. Only then, choose your action based on reason and your values. Based on logic and my principles, how should I respond? This practice requires consistent effort, but it will gradually empower you to become the master of your emotions, rather than their slave. You will gain immense clarity and control, making decisions that serve your well-being and align with your purpose. 12. Love your fate, Amor Fati. This is one of the most powerful and profound principles in Stoicism, beautifully encapsulated by the Latin phrase, Amor Fati, meaning, love your fate. It goes far beyond mere acceptance. Amor Fati is the active, wholehearted embrace of everything that happens, seeing every event, every challenge, every perceived setback, as an integral and necessary part of your journey and an opportunity for growth. It's the radical belief that whatever comes your way, it's not only meant to be, but it can be used for your betterment. So, why is this perspective so crucial? Our natural inclination is often to lament, complain, or desperately try to resist things that have already happened or are beyond our control. This constant struggle against reality is a monumental waste of energy and a primary source of unnecessary suffering. When you embrace Amor Fati, you free yourself from this internal conflict. You don't just passively put up with what happens, you transform your relationship with it. It doesn't mean you become inactive or complacent. Rather, you find profound meaning and opportunity within every experience, no matter how difficult. It's the ultimate form of inner resilience, turning obstacles into fuel for your growth. How do you apply this? After every experience, especially the challenging ones, take a moment to reflect. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" or "This shouldn't have happened," ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger, wiser, or more compassionate? How can I use this situation for my advantage or to serve others?" It's a fundamental shift from resistance to active appreciation. For example, if a major plan falls apart, instead of cursing your luck, you could say, "This is what is happening. What new path is opening up for me now? How can I apply my virtues here?" By cultivating this mindset, you naturally begin to care less about things always going your way, because you trust that whatever happens, you can find a way to use it, learn from it, and ultimately benefit from it. This profound shift liberates you from the constant struggle against reality, allowing you to move with the flow of life, rather than against it. 13. Live for community, serve others. Stoicism isn't just about personal enlightenment or individual self-mastery. It's also profoundly about our connection to the larger human community. The Stoics believe that we are all part of a single, interconnected whole. Citizens of the world, or cosmopolitans. Because of this shared humanity, we have a fundamental duty to contribute to the well-being of others and to serve society. This principle is deeply rooted in the Stoic virtue of justice, which encompasses not just fairness, but also benevolence, kindness, and contributing to the common good. So, why is this perspective so crucial? When you only live for yourself, focusing solely on your own gains and desires, you can often feel isolated, disconnected, and lack a deeper sense of purpose. This self-centeredness, ironically, can lead to unhappiness. Serving others, however, provides a profound sense of meaning that material possessions or individual achievements rarely can. By helping others, you not only enrich their lives but also add immense value and fulfillment to your own. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, creates ripples of positive impact and reinforces your connection to humanity. How do you apply this? Look for ways to serve others in your daily life, both big and small. Offer a listening ear to a friend who is struggling. Volunteer your time or skills to a cause you believe in. Offer to help a colleague who is overwhelmed. Simply practice active kindness and respect towards everyone you encounter, regardless of their status or background. Be a responsible citizen, participate in your community, vote, and advocate for what is just. Remember, serving others isn't a burden, it's a privilege and a powerful source of joy. As the Stoics understood, when you contribute to the good of the whole, you contribute to your own good, because we are all inextricably linked. It's a fundamental shift from, "What can I get?" to, "How can I give?" transforming your interactions and imbuing your life with a richer, more profound purpose. The profound benefits of embracing this art. So, we've explored 13 powerful Stoic principles, each a tool to help you master the art of healthy detachment. But what's the real payoff? Why should you put in the effort to cultivate this kind of not caring? The benefits are truly transformative and touch every area of your life. 1. Unshakable inner peace and tranquility. This is perhaps the most immediate and profound benefit. When you consistently practice releasing your attachment to uncontrollable externals, you dramatically reduce your daily anxiety and worry. Imagine a mind that isn't constantly agitated by every little thing that goes wrong, or every opinion thrown your way. You'll find yourself remaining composed and rational even amidst chaos, like a calm lake untouched by the storms raging above. This isn't about being emotionless, it's about being undisturbed. 2. Enhanced mental resilience and adaptability. By reframing adversity as an opportunity for growth and accepting the impermanence of all things, your mind becomes far less fragile. Obstacles no longer feel like insurmountable walls but rather like stepping stones or challenges designed to make you stronger. You learn to adapt quickly to new circumstances, transforming potential suffering into self-mastery. Life will still throw punches, but you'll learn to roll with them, emerging not defeated, but more robust. 3. Greater clarity and focus. When your mental space isn't cluttered with worries about the past, anxieties about the future, or the need for external validation, your mind becomes incredibly clear. This frees up enormous amounts of mental energy that was previously wasted. You'll gain a sharper ability to focus precisely on what truly matters: your values, your purpose, and the actions within your control. This clarity allows you to direct your efforts with greater precision and effectiveness. 4. Stronger, healthier relationships. Paradoxically, this might seem counterintuitive, but cultivating healthy detachment can dramatically improve your relationships. When you don't cling to outcomes, don't demand others' approval, and don't try to control their actions, you engage with people from a place of genuine connection, not codependency. You offer love, support, and understanding freely, without the burden of expectations or the need for them to fulfill your emotional needs. This allows for deeper, more authentic bonds built on mutual respect and freedom. 5. Authentic freedom and sovereignty. Ultimately, mastering the art of healthy detachment grants you the most profound kind of freedom: mastery over your own mind. You are no longer enslaved by external circumstances, the opinions of others, or your own fleeting desires. You become the sovereign ruler of your inner kingdom. This freedom allows you to live a life of integrity, purpose, and deep contentment, regardless of external conditions. It's the ultimate superpower, enabling you to remain calm, clear, and centered in an unpredictable world. Practical steps to cultivate healthy detachment. You've now explored the why and the what of Stoic detachment. But how do you actually do it? This isn't just theory to nod along to. It requires consistent practice, a little bit of effort each day to rewire your responses. Think of these as your daily training regimen to build an unshakable inner core. 1. Practice the dichotomy of control daily, your inner GPS. This is your absolute foundational exercise, your inner compass, and frankly, the most powerful habit you can build. Throughout your day, whenever you feel a surge of frustration, worry, anger, or even intense craving, pause. Don't just react on autopilot. Take a conscious, deep breath and deliberately ask yourself, is this thing, this situation, this person's action, this unexpected outcome, truly within my control? If it's not in your control, and you'll be surprised how often it isn't, traffic, other people's opinions, the weather, past events, future uncertainties, then consciously acknowledge that fact. Visualize gently placing that worry, that frustration, into a mental parking lot, something you acknowledge exists but choose not to dwell on or struggle with. It's like gently releasing a bird from your hand instead of trying to clutch it. Then, immediately shift your focus to what is within your control, your attitude, your effort, your chosen response, and your next right action. If it is in your control, like your own actions, your judgments, your effort, your words, then pour your energy into that. Do your very best, apply your wisdom, and then, regardless of the outcome, let go of the attachment to that specific result. The value. This consistent practice helps you stop wasting precious mental energy on external battles you can't win. It frees you from unnecessary stress, allowing you to direct your power only where it can truly make a difference, within yourself. This isn't just a technique, it's a profound shift in how you navigate life, moving from being a victim of circumstance to a master of your inner world. 2. Journal your reactions, become your own psychologist. Self-reflection isn't just a nice idea, it's a tangible, actionable practice that can transform your emotional landscape. At the end of each day, set aside just 5 to 10 minutes. Grab a notebook, open a digital document, or even use a voice recorder. Briefly jot down any moments that disturbed you, frustrated you, made you feel overly emotional, or even moments of great joy and how you responded. Then, here's the key, look at these moments through a Stoic lens. Ask yourself specific, probing questions. What exactly was the external event or trigger? What was my specific judgment or automatic reaction to it? What stories was I telling myself about it? Was that judgment/reaction within my control? Was it rational or driven by emotion? What Stoic principle, like the dichotomy of control or the impermanence of things, could I have applied differently here? How could I respond more virtuously next time, with more wisdom, justice, courage, or temperance? The value. This simple yet powerful exercise helps you identify recurring patterns in your emotional responses and irrational judgments. It's like shining a spotlight on your inner workings, helping you see where your emotional energy is leaking. Over time, you'll gain incredible self-awareness, allowing you to challenge unhelpful thoughts, refine your automatic responses, and proactively choose peace over disturbance. You become your own most insightful coach. 3. Engage in voluntary discomfort, fortifying your inner fortress. This might sound a little counterintuitive, even tough, but it's an incredibly empowering and ancient Stoic practice. Periodically, and always safely, choose to do something slightly uncomfortable that you would usually avoid. This isn't about self-punishment or being miserable. It's about systematically proving to yourself that your happiness and well-being aren't fundamentally dependent on external comforts or the absence of minor annoyances. Examples of voluntary discomfort. The cold shower. Start your shower warm, then turn it to cold for 30 to 60 seconds. Focus on your breathing, not the cold. Choosing the walk. Instead of taking the car or public transport for a short distance, walk. Embrace the weather, the effort. Mindful fasting. Skip a meal or a snack you crave occasionally, and observe your body's response without immediately giving in. Simplifying. Intentionally choose a slightly less comfortable chair, sleep on the floor once a week, or avoid a luxury item you usually indulge in. The value. These small acts build genuine, profound resilience. Each time you willingly step outside your comfort zone and realize you're perfectly fine, you're strengthening your mental fortitude. You're proving your independence from external pleasantries and making yourself less susceptible to life's inevitable inconveniences and hardships. When true difficulties arise unexpectedly, you'll find yourself far less disturbed because you've already trained your mind to accept and navigate discomfort. You learn to, not care, about always being perfectly comfortable, because you know your strength lies within. 4. Reframe challenges as opportunities, the alchemist's mindset. Life will undoubtedly present you with setbacks, failures, and moments of intense difficulty. The natural human tendency is to see these as purely negative events, something to complain about or curse your luck for. However, the Stoic path encourages a conscious, active reframe. When faced with a challenge, immediately, deliberately ask yourself, how can this challenge serve me? What hidden lesson is here? How can I use this to practice a specific Stoic virtue that I need to develop? A difficult boss becomes an opportunity to practice immense patience, self-control over your reactions, and wisdom in navigating a tough situation. An unexpected financial setback becomes a chance to exercise temperance in spending, courage in seeking new income, and resourcefulness. A personal disappointment becomes a chance to develop resilience, self-compassion, and to deepen your understanding of the impermanence of external outcomes. The value: this mental shift transforms potential suffering into powerful growth. Instead of being a passive recipient of bad luck, you become an active alchemist, turning lead into gold. You begin to not care about things always going perfectly, because you trust that whatever happens, you can extract value, learn, and grow from it. This mindset changes your relationship with adversity from one of dread to one of intentional development. 5. Practice gratitude. With impermanence, cherish without clinging. Cultivating deep gratitude for everything you have right now, your health, your loved ones, your possessions, your opportunities, even the simple act of breathing, is a cornerstone of inner peace. It helps you focus on abundance rather than scarcity. But the Stoics add a powerful nuance. Practice this gratitude with a gentle awareness of their impermanence. This means fully cherishing them, enjoying them intensely, but simultaneously acknowledging that they are temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Your loved ones will pass, your possessions will wear out, your health will eventually decline. The practice: when you're enjoying a meal, appreciate every bite, knowing this specific experience won't last. When you're spending time with a loved one, be fully present, appreciating their presence as a precious gift, knowing that one day, circumstances will change. When you feel grateful for your health, acknowledge that it's a loan, not a permanent possession. The value: this practice isn't morbid, it's profoundly liberating. It actually intensifies your appreciation for the present moment because you're acutely aware of its precious, fleeting nature. At the same time, it softens the potential emotional blow of their eventual loss. It helps you love deeply without clinging desperately, allowing you to care less about losing them because you've truly valued and enjoyed them while they were here. It's the ultimate acceptance of life's natural cycles, leading to a profound, unburdened peace. So, there you have it. We've journeyed through 13 powerful Stoic principles, uncovering what it truly means to master the art of healthy detachment. This isn't about apathy or indifference. It's about a profound, conscious choice to direct your energy where it matters most: your inner world, your character, and your virtuous actions. It's about recognizing the vast difference between what you can control and what you cannot, and then intelligently, not caring about the latter. By embracing these ancient truths, you begin to build an unshakable inner fortress. A place where external storms may rage, but your peace remains undisturbed. You'll find yourself less bothered by trivial criticisms, less anxious about uncertain futures, and more resilient in the face of life's inevitable challenges. This journey isn't a destination, it's a continuous practice, a lifelong commitment to self-mastery. But the reward? The reward is nothing less than authentic freedom, true tranquility, and the ultimate superpower of being the undisputed ruler of your own mind. If you're ready to embark on this transformative path, to cultivate a mind that is calm, clear, and truly independent, then start applying these principles today. Pick one, any one, and begin practicing. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, True Stoic Mindset, for more timeless wisdom to navigate your modern life. We're here to help you unlock your full potential and live a life of profound purpose and peace. Thank you for watching.